Hello, music technology. Today we are going to EQ our homemade instruments recordings. And so I have here where I left off last time. Um, this red track was my original recording of my rubber band harp thing. Then I selected the best sounds and pulled them down into this second track and then copied them several times. So I muted, M is for mute. So I've muted this red track so you can't hear it anymore. Now I'm going to select this second track. It wants to use the microphone. Okay, great, doesn't matter. And I'll just play a little bit here. Great, okay. So I've got my sounds isolated. There they are. We are going to learn about EQ today, and from the forums and various other places, you should know that EQ means equalization. And it means that any recorded sound, this rubber band, if you used a bottle, the sound wave that it produces contains lots and lots of frequencies. Sounds are complicated. And what EQ lets you do is change the balance of the different frequencies in a sound to bring out some parts of the sound that you like and to suppress or reduce parts of the sound you don't like. And here's how you do that. If we go down here to effects, we can add effects. And anything we add here will be applied to the track we have selected. So I'm going to click Add Effect. And under Recommended is Graphic EQ, and also under Tone is Graphic EQ. It's the same thing, it's just in a couple of different places. So we're going to click Graphic EQ, and there it is. So this is a 7-band graphic EQ. Your iPhone or Android or smartphone or whatever, or if you still have a car stereo or a regular stereo, often has two controls, bass and treble, for low frequencies and high frequencies. That would be a 2-band EQ. This, instead of breaking up the frequencies into just two parts, high and low, this breaks it up into 7 parts, and it tells you the frequency in hertz up at the top. Human beings can hear from 20 hertz, which is the lowest frequency sounds we can hear, up to somewhere in the teens, but everything above about 7,000 hertz just kind of sounds like noise to us. So, the sound has been broken up into these 7 parts, and the way that you EQ a sound is I'm going to use the loop function, and so this little red bar now controls which part of the sound is going to play over and over again, so I don't have to keep pressing play. And I'm going to hit play, and it's just going to play the same part over and over again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to boost each one of these sliders. So each one of these sliders, right, these move up and down if I click on them. Each one of these sliders controls all the frequencies in a range. So this one controls all the frequencies above 6,400 hertz. This one controls all of the frequencies between 3.2 thousand or 3,200 hertz and 64. This one is between 16 and 32. This one's from 800 to 1600. This one is from 400, and this is like around where we sing. 400 hertz is about it's about there. 200 hertz is about there, and then 100 hertz and lower is sounds that I can't really sing. So I'm going to hit play, and here's my rubber band. And so now, if I boost this top one, hopefully you're listening with headphones, all of these what we kind of sometimes refer to as static or white noise sounds increase. And some of you had some of those sounds in your recording. We generally don't want those. So we're probably going to lower that to get rid of those. Okay, second one, if I boost this, I get this kind of woody sound, and if you want to compare the sound with and without, you can turn it off. See, it sounds kind of dull there, and this gives it a little bit more sharpness. So that's what that one does. So I'm going to put it back to 0 so we hear what they all do. Next one. That really brings out the click of my finger against the string. Great. Next one. Now that kind of makes it sound hollow, because that's bringing out kind of like the high mids. You really hear the hollowness of the box there. Right? Back down. Now here's the next one. Sometimes it takes it a second to process. That's really, a big part of the actual sound of the rubber band coming out there. And now this one. So that's bringing out the lows, which are going to be hard to hear on your external microphones. Also, I'm in my kitchen right now, so there's all kinds of other noises going on. My dishwasher's going, and the fridge going, the window's open, and this car's going by. Not the best recording environment. And so here's now the bottom slider. And if you've got headphones on, you can hear that brings out the lows. So having done that, what you would do is you would lower the sliders or faders of the parts of the sound you don't like and raise the parts that you do. Well, I kind of like this brightness one, so I'm going to boost that. I'm going to lower these white noise static sounds. What was this one again? I'm going to give it a little bit of that. So I'm going to boost that one a little bit, boost that one a little bit. This is the one that made it sound kind of hollow. Yeah, I don't really like that one, so I'm going to drop that one down. I'm going to bring this one up, because these are the kind of like, yeah, okay. So now we're getting a little bit of static in there because there's latency involved, but when you process the whole thing, that'll go away. So I'm going to turn this off. So there's what my instrument sounds like without the EQ. And now if I turn it on, back off. It sounds, to me, brighter and more present than without the EQ. Like, I feel that I've brought out kind of aspects of the sound that are bright and kind of very clear, and I reduced the parts of the sound that were unclear. So that is how you EQ a sound. I'm going to stop that. And so people in the recording studio will do that process to every single instrument they record. So if you're listening to a piece of pop music, that process has happened to every single track in order to kind of make each sound as good as it possibly can in the way that you want it to sound good. So you are going to EQ the recording of your homemade instruments, and then you're going to explain why you made the adjustments that you made. So good luck, and I'll see you soon.